Good morning and a happy new year to everyone in Kairos. I thought I'd just share something that I came across over Advent and Christmas to do with stress. I actually over the summer read a book. I can't remember the title of it now, called Help, I think, and it talked about the role stress plays in our lives and the impact it has on our bodies. And I began to realize while reading it that the COVID situation, which was around us and still is around us, actually been placing quite a toll on myself. And the book began to explain just how it impacts you. It slows your digestion. It suppresses your immune system. It gives you poor sleep at night. It can cause problems in your stomach, and it's essentially our bodies are designed to deal with stress in a positive way, in that we get the kind of fight or flight, as you probably know it, that our bodies get a surge of hormones and adrenaline, and we're able to either stand and fight, or we're able to run from a situation and keep us safe. So it's a safety mechanism that kicks in. That there's a problem when it's constantly alert. It can cause long-term health impacts to us, raise our blood pressure, and create long-term issues within our body. And I also suggested a few ways it might help, and I was interested to see just one thing by Michael Mosley. I was reading in my magazine recently, and also my mentor, one of my mentors in the States, Beth Estok, talking about the parasympathetic, is that the way it's titled, nervous system. So we have, as well as our part of our nervous system is effectively a brake to this flood of stress hormones, and we can, in a sense, we can compensate against this underlying stress, which we're all under, by doing some simple things. One of the things I talked about, bodily things that the stress causes, but one of the other things, of course, is that when we don't feel safe, then our primary motivation, our body effectively takes over our brain and we can't stop it, is about becoming safe. And of course, it's pretty hard these days to make yourself truly safe. And so our body is never quite out of that cycle. Maslow came up with a hierarchy of needs, of things that needed to be dealt with in various orders. And at the bottom of that was kind of safety. And at the top of that is kind of spiritual things and being able to be calm enough to engage with God and with other spiritual dimensions of life. And so I just wonder if, like me, sometimes, it's actually quite hard to get down to prayer. It's quite hard to find God when you are encountering this level of underlying stress. So we clearly need to do something about it if we can. And Michael Mosley offers a simple idea of deep breathing. And if you've ever been to any of Leanne's prayer times, she quite often starts us with some big breaths in and some slow breaths out, or some body scans and monitoring our breathing, which effectively does the same thing. It slows and deepens our breathing. Michael talks about a 4-2-4 technique, which is to breathe in for a count of 4. I'm reading it here. Hold for 2, then breathe out for a count of 4. There's also a 3-4-5. Inhale slowly through your nose for 3, hold for 4, and then exhale for 5. It's supposed to help with chronic pain and all sorts of things. But what it does effectively, the vagus nerve, which runs the length of our body, it shuts off that fight or flight, and it effectively puts a brake on it, and it brings us to a place of calm. So it's probably not a surprise to you if I talk about that deep breathing, because it's been part of Christian spirituality for a long time. And as I said, quite often Leanne leads us in a time of just slowly breathing in and breathing out as we center ourselves to prayer which moves us from that fight or flight into that place where we can be in tune with God. What struck me reading that, though, was thinking about why I particularly enjoy the Northumbrian community prayers on a Sunday morning that we hold at Acomb, and one or two of you have been along to that. It's been good to see you. But of course, we use a very simple liturgy, and it's a call and response liturgy at the start. And what I realized is that very simple call and response liturgy forces you into a rhythm of breathing with the other people there. You are synchronizing breathing, and there is a speaking out, and there is a pause where you breathe in and wait for the next line to come. And so actually, interestingly, liturgy perhaps is as much about the breathing as it is about the words, although the words themselves obviously help us focus our attention then on God. And it occurred to me singing is much the same, that singing is an exercise in controlled, synchronized breathing with one another. And maybe not so much the frenetic songs that we sing sometimes, but those more calm, rhythmic songs that we might sing. They bring us into a place of breathing. They calm our stress and our nerves. And so I guess what I'm saying is that we have some of the answers around us. If we're struggling to prayer, maybe I need to reflect on those things and use a little bit of liturgy to take me into the time of prayer. Take time to do the breathing and the body scanning that Leanne encourages us to do. And it won't just help us with our spiritual life, but it will help us turning off that fight or flight reflex. It will help us with our physical and mental health too. So I just offer you it as a means to come before God in the new year, a means to start the new year in a positive way. And I hope it helps us all be healthier and happier and able to be together as we worship, as we care for one another, as we look in hope to a better year in 2022. So God bless. Goodbye.